Jay, are you almost ready?
Am I on what?
Are you almost ready?
Mate, I've been ready since the day I was born.
Debatable.
Depends who you ask.
Well, anybody I know is debatable, certainly.
Oh, right, okay.
Good evening, everybody. Anyway, and welcome to Series 5, Episode 7. We've had to drag Jay out of the cat bed because apparently he's not had any sleep because he's been sleeping with cats. And Smarty, good evening, my friend. How are you?
Hello, good evening. I'm well. Hope you are as well, my friend.
Very well, not too well. A bit of a chest infection at the minute, so I am towing a little bit. There's a lot of it going around. Kids back at school and all that. Yeah. That sort of thing, but look, we'll loads and loads of bits and pieces to talk about tonight, and we'll do so after we get to look at the new improved. He says maybe in inverted commas. Make your own minds up. Intro. There we go.
Hi, this is Don Matteo, and you are listening to the Ought to Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
Leeds are shit.
We're recording, you know.
Oh shit.
We had a good start. I don't think we've got the personnel.
You can fucking laugh all you want, you absolute bellend.
I think about things. That's why you lot are idiots.
A melted version of a dick that's been shrink wrapped. The absolute elite shithousery of this.
So, Smarty, let's first things first. The first comment there, Leeds as shit, is the new opening line, which we can start with, I think, because before we get into talk about any of the game, I would like to actually go a little bit back to front, and we'll talk about this week's or the predictions league, shall we say? And Leeds being shit is very apt, shall we say, for your prediction this week.
My prediction being 2-0 to Leeds.
Well, it's funny you should say that because I've actually got in the brand. I've actually got in the brand of your score prediction. Shall we show everyone what your real one was?
Yeah, go on.
Let's have a look.
Why don't you tell us first so you can own up to it and be a man?
I'll tell you exactly how it went.
Just tell us what you put. Just tell us what you put.
First, second, or third time.
Just tell us what your prediction was.
That
I'm probably going to show.
My prediction was 2-0 Leeds. We should win. However, Cardiff will shit houses. So I went, fuck it, 2-1 Cardiff.
2-1 Cardiff. 2-1 Cardiff.
And then I changed it back, but he wouldn't let me.
I've just double bluffed you anyway. I've double bluffed you. I'm not prepared to put anything like that in the brand.
Yeah. Well, I did. I was surprised, if I'm honest, I'm glad I'm sat down, to be fair. There's some fucking headphone slander in the comments as well.
Yeah, what are they headphones?
The only reason I've got these on is because I forgot my AirPods at work, which is why.
Are they gaming ones?
No, the Sony WXM5s or whatever they are.
It looks like he should be roller skating down Miami Beach in little hot pants and a bra, doesn't it?
I have to get my phone out and get
a video of that.
Back on a skateboard, going down, drinking some cranberry juice or whatever it is.
So why don't you give us a bit of an update on the predictions league, if you will, please? Seeing as though Gilly's not here with his spreadsheets,
with his 9,000 shit spreadsheets that don't work. Did you put that one in the brand?
I didn't.
Thank you very much.
I just thought we would have just give us a bit of an overview. We don't want every single result and who's where. Just give us the top 3 or 4, top bottom 3 or 4.
So basically, some people got points. Joe's first, Carl's second, Lockie's third. The fans are fourth. Right at the very bottom is Andrea and myself. Myself obviously should have been 5 points better off, but because
10 points better off because you would have lost 5.
A bold swine. No.
Oh, you don't lose 5 anymore?
No, we don't do minus points for wrong predictions this year because Gilly's spreadsheet doesn't work properly.
So basically, Gilly's just created an absolute headache.
You can do what you want, basically, yeah. Whatever you want.
Might as well.
So well done to Joe, who's at the top of the league.
Well done to Joe.
There's a lot of old people in bloody content world, isn't there? Follicle challenged.
When you get to a certain age, I don't know if anyone saw the actual bio for tonight. Yeah. I don't know if anyone saw tonight's bio, but if you go bald, you are going to look like Mega Man.
I don't have that problem. I'll just leave that to you. It's ironic, really, that you said I look like Mega Man while sat there with a frigging bald ear.
Yeah, but Mega Man's is like
big
like
blue head.
Up here. Yeah. Anyway, on that note, well done to
I'm too ill for this.
And well done to Joe. Well done to, who was it? Lockie, and to Carl, I think. Is Carl top of us lot?
It must be, yeah.
Carl was second or something like that. I might have imagined it. But yeah, well done to you. And not so well done to Andrea, who professes to be the football fountain of knowledge, but actually can't seem to get a result right this season. But let's talk a bit about that Cardiff game then. I know, Jay, you did a B&C last night with Gilly, so I won't bother you too much because you are looking a little bit grey around the mouth tonight.
Better than stenciled on the head, mate.
Hey, how was Cavos?
It was shit, to be honest.
Was it?
Shit, to be fair, before I went, and they were right. It was shit. My mate who booked it, I think, booked us like about 5 days after the season ended or something. So some of it were open.
So you just went. So you just went to a rainy Greek island for a fucking.
Pretty much, yeah. And spent most of my time being bothered by cats. You know, like being at home. So
not the wrong type of pussy.
There's cats everywhere there. Honestly, the wrong type. Yeah.
Was it expensive?
No, not really. It were a bit weird. Depended where you went. Like if you got a pint at the sort of hotel bar, you get it for like €3, but you go out and you get the same pint for 5 or 6, depending where you go. There was a place serving something that they call Black Death that they reckon were pure alcohol, 250 ml of it.
And how many of them did you have?
I didn't. Absolutely not.
Probably not advisable.
I had a few chili vodkas though, which fucked me up.
Bryn says, nice tan, Jay. Teeth are brown.
Nice one, mate. Cheers.
What are you drinking there, Heineken? Bring that back from Cavos, did you? The German Heineken from Cavos?
No, mate. This is my stock that I have to keep for any time I have to deal with any of you lot.
Is the Heineken's slogan that Germans hate to see it leave? Was that Heineken?
Wasn't it Carlsberg? The Dutch hate to see it leave. Or Danish, sorry.
It's all piss anyway. Moretti's
it's all piss, to be fair.
Fuck all that European shite.
I'm not sure anyway. It doesn't really matter, does it?
I do love a good Moretti.
Let's get on to talk about a little bit about foot here.
Yeah, can we?
So that Cardiff game, Smarty, let's say Heineken is Dutch. So can't it be the Dutch? Or maybe the Dutch hate to see it leave, maybe. Anyway. Cardiff, as you thought, was probably going to be a defeat because they'd shit out it 1 point all season, 1 goal all season. Leeds go there. It was written in the stars. You know, it very much had a feel of the 10-man Wigan under Bielsa. You know, and you know, if it was going to happen to anybody, it was going to happen to Leeds. But for me, it was a very, very complete performance, and it was as one side of the game as we'll probably away game as we'll probably see all season.
And yet, there are still those that aren't very happy about it. Are they?
There are. We'll come on to that.
Yes. So yeah, I thought it was a kind of a standard performance. It didn't have me at the edge of my seat at all, nor did I fall asleep either. So it was nicely balanced. But I thought we could have done probably more in the attacking final third, but they were never going to try and attack us. They were never going to try and go toe-to-toe with us. It just shows that we can beat these defensively minded teams. Granted, Cardiff are horrible and they are really, really poor. I think we were sloppy in possession a couple of times, but like you say, it was an efficient performance. It was exactly what we needed after the Burnley game. Didn't set the league on fire with it. I don't think we'll be making too many waves with that sort of performance, but at the end of the day, 3 points is 3 points. I think we'll have more of a test this weekend coming. However, going down to Cardiff, where notoriously we don't do very well, they'd not won, like you've already said. You know, it was earmarked for a bit of a...
The ghost of Sam Hammam.
Exactly. So, yeah, I'm glad that we just went down there and got 3 points, to be fair, no matter how we got them. So,
yeah. Gilly likes to put these little momentums in, so it is worth showing these because people are still... I know you mentioned before...
This is unreal,
are still complaining that that it wasn't a good performance. Now, this is the momentum of that 90 minutes. Now, that is suggesting that Cardiff had 2 attacks all game, and they weren't very good ones at that. No. In 90 minutes of football, away from home, an horrible, dingy stadium where it's not a nice place to go, Cardiff. I've been a couple of times, and it's arguably the most intimidated I've ever felt after a game walking back to the car, and that it's not nice down there. So to actually restrict them to this, and I know football isn't played on diagrams and Excel spreadsheets, and you know we're not naive enough to suggest that shows how good we were. But look, we missed a penalty. We had Aronson who could have tucked another way. On another day, it's 4-0. Are people happy then? Are people happy then? I think people have now got this ideology in their head that we don't attack. We don't do attack very well. We don't cut teams open. But actually, the realism is, and that's based on the XGs and stuff, and I hate using XG as a barometer, just simply because football isn't played on a spreadsheet. But we're the highest performing or second highest team XG, expected XG in the league, and the lowest XG against in the league. That's got to count for something, hasn't it, Jay?
Yeah, definitely. People just want more goals, I think. It's not that we're not good in attack. I mean, we tend to crush teams with our attack. We pen them in, keep them back, keep them under pressure. It's just we don't simply shoot, we don't finish. That's the issue at the moment for me. It's the two main issues for us are lapses in defence when we're on top, and not shooting enough for me when we're up front attacking. Like the movement and the tactics are good in the sense that we're getting opportunities. We're spending loads of time in and around the opposition box. We're not using the ball well enough.
Yeah, I mean,
go
on, Smarty.
I was just going to say we have come up against quite defensive teams, though. I mean, I were calling bloody Burnley cowards for how they were playing. You know, they set up defensively, arguably one of the best teams in the league this season, and they were cowering behind all 10 of them stood behind the chuffing ball. I expected more. I know a couple of Burnley fans, and I'll let them have it during the week as well. Last week, should I say? I just expected, I expected to force Cardiff to set up like that, and to be honest, I thought we might struggle to break them down, because we do struggle to cut through them sort of teams, and then just shit out as a frigging a corner or a set piece or something like that, But yeah,
that's why I said 2-2, because it was one of them where we should crush this team, but us being us, we've seen it so many times. We just let stuff go. We lapse. Teams shit houses. And I think a lot of these teams, including some of the good ones, are happy to just sit back and play defensive because they see Melee as a liability and they think we'll get an opportunity, we'll get a set piece,
So based on exactly what you two have just said then, where actually usually we would expect to go potentially draw based on your prediction and what you just said, Jay, and lose based on yours, Smarty. Are we not doing? Is something not going right for us this season? Are we not doing things right? And why are people so upset?
Well, I think we are.
I can't get my head around.
I said on B&C, like the performance against Burnley wasn't a bad performance. We just didn't put it away, and we lacked concentration for a second or two. It wasn't that we played bad. It wasn't that we haven't played good football. And had we won that and come into this and won this one, nobody'd be saying anything. It's because we lost a game that we should have won. And then we've gone on against a team that's gone down to 10 men. And some people think others should have got more minutes. And some people think we should have scored more goals. And they're maybe valid points. But I think everyone's happy to have won the game. They just expected maybe a bit more from the performance against 10 men.
No, I agree. But it's arguably harder to play against 10 men.
No, I get you.
Sometimes against a team that want to sit on the back foot anyway, because there was very little in that game that suggested they were going to try and even come out of there. I mean, look, we probably should have scored more goals. I mean, statistics from that game: ball possession 79% to 21, expected goals. This is the XG, which I don't really like all that much, but 0.12 from Cardiff, just short 3 from us. Big chances created. Now, this is the one that does suggest that we are doing things right. 5 for us and 0 for them. Mm-hmm. Total shots 15. They had 3. Goalie made 5 saves. All the things are a point. And I can see why people are frustrated because we're not playing high energy, rock and roll type football. We're not. We're playing sensible, possession based football where we should be winning games. And somebody said online earlier, and I've forgotten who it was, but somebody said we're top of all of the differentials and all the measurables last season, but we still didn't get promoted. That's not true. We weren't top from my memory of many of the differentials in terms of XGs and all that stuff. But do you think the fans then, Smarty, have got a right or I don't know if right's the best word, or a reason to be unhappy with the style of football, or is it something we need to become accustomed to? And the sooner we get used to it, the better, really, because we're not ever going to see a Bielsa type team again.
hopefully we'll see a similar brand of football to what Bielsa had, because it was the best type of football I've ever seen as a fan of Leeds, in my life. And I include O'Leary, although, completely different times, different leagues, etc. I just think that we've been through the mill a little bit these last few years. We've seen that many different styles, and Bielsa's, given the circumstances that we were in at the time, and we'll have this conversation, I've no doubt, for years and years and years. But it was fresh, it was fast, it was swashbuckling, it was brave, it was exciting, But I used to get frustrated with how we used to play, because that was the only way we played, and we used to get fucking battered. As defence was shit. We had to outscore other teams to win. Farke's ball is more conservative, it's more controlled, more possession-based, but it's safe.
More German.
And at the end of the day, the best thing you can do to win titles, and most teams that do win titles and stuff, have a very, very solid foundation when it comes to their defences. And that's exactly what we've got. But yet still people aren't happy. And I can understand that people might find Farke ball boring. I do myself, a lot of the time, especially when I'm watching Ampadu and the rest of them pass side to side and go forward a little bit, then come back, and he's in a shooting opposition. Oh no, Melia's got it back again. He's frustrating, and I understand why fans might not be happy. But at the end of the day, we can be happy when we're playing in the Premier League, as long as it gets us into the frigging Premier League. Which, granted, not a lot of us are that excited for, and that's a completely separate subject. But it's efficient football, and I think we've just got to adapt to how Farke wants to play. And just, he's a German star. Shit.
Everyone.
Do you know what? I've never known, right? As on a Leeds content base, I've never known so many content creators ourselves be so unanimous on the Farke front before. Usually, it's very, very varied, but it's not. A lot of people are saying the same sort of stuff, but people are entitled to their opinions, and people have their opinions. Opinions are like arseholes. But everyone's got one, and sometimes they don't align with others, but that's fine. At the end of the day, as long as the main objective is completed and we're up in the Premier League next season, no one's going to be really giving a flying shit about whether Farke ball was boring or not. No. Because at the end of the day, the result is we're back in the Premier League.
Is there a sense? Do you think there's a sense of entitlement that's come from fans? And because we've probably arguably got one of the best squads in the league, that we are. Does it almost feel like we're in a Manchester City position in the Premier League, where we've got the best squad? We should be playing better football, and that's that. We should be dicking teams and doing the Poznan when we're winning 4-0 and that.
I think some people do think that. The squad's slightly weaker for me than last season, but it's still up there and should be capable of winning this league. So I think because we've been so close, we've done so well, we've seen such good football at times. Other times it's been shit and we've not enjoyed it. But there has been games where we've just been wow. That Norwich game in the playoffs, we've had games where we have been exciting. We expect that, I think, to a degree. But I think people need to chill out a little bit, because every season is a fresh start and anything can happen. I think someone said in the comments at some point that we'll be a different entity when the players gel properly and settle in. And I think that's true. I think we'll get better and better. I think people are rightly frustrated, I guess, because we were promised a better start than last year. But you have to look at where we are and say this is where we are and go from there. And we are grinding out some results. We should have done better in some games, sure, but we're still in a slightly better position than last season, and there's more to come. I think people do have a right to expect us to win most games with the squad we've got, but I don't think you can complain about the style of football if the results are coming.
No, absolutely. And I suppose the question asked there, Smite, about entitlement is the word entitlement. And it's fine to be entitled. If that's your way of looking at things, that's an opinion. Do you know what I mean? If you feel that we have got the best team, we should have a better manager, we should be dick in the league, we should be playing this great brand of football with the players that we've got at our disposal. But actually, do we need to take a bit of a reality check at some stage and actually think, you know what, we tried that against Saints at home in the last game of the season and got beat 2-1. On the last day of the season at home to Saints, we had to go for it because there was a chance that if Ipswich lost by however many goals and we won by however many goals, we got automatically promoted. So we had to do that then, and it didn't work for us. So I suppose the question is, is that sense of entitlement, is it is it out of order, or do you think actually you can see why people might have this?
I think it's unrealistic, and I think people are basing it on last season's good run and the positive way. Maybe not the positive way we finished the season, but the positive spin on the whole season, I suppose. But again, just like last season, at the start of this season, we were starting again not from scratch, but pretty much on the whole. You know, we lost a lot of the team, we lost a lot of players, and you know, people like I've seen Jonathan Brook in the comments saying that, you know, similar sort of thing, that the players will take a little time to get to know each other, to know how they play, etc., etc. Just like we did last season. You know, we weren't going to ever hit the ground running because of the massive impact that our best technically two players, you know, the holes that they've left behind. You know, and it will take a little time. But like last season, I'm pretty certain that once we get going, we'll be an absolute juggernaut, and it'll take a lot to stop us. I just think, you know, I understand people's frustrations and I get it, but I just think we just need to step back out of the spotlight, and have a bit of reality check, like you've already said, and look at the bigger picture of the season. You know, we're 6 games in now, and people are losing their minds already. It's just like, come on, man.
Well, I'll give you an example.
15 games in, and we're in the, you know, we're in the, I don't know, mid-table or something, and we're not playing well. Then you've the right to ask questions about stuff. But 5-6 games in, I mean, people were asking for Farke's head 4 games into the season. It's like, what?
Tell me one thing, guys. Tell me one thing. Who's out there that's better and available?
Well, that's the thing.
I've seen Coburn thrown around. He declined us. He's
not better though, is he? He's not better.
I don't think he's better. No.
He's achieved nothing so far.
Let me give you an example. Did anyone watch City against Arsenal the other day when Arsenal had gone down to 10 men?
Yes.
City did exactly what we did. Yeah. They just found a way to break it down, and that's with Haaland, Foden. Do you know what I mean? And they did exactly what we did. Do you think City fans were bored because they managed to find? Look, I mean, there are different differentials. They managed to find a 95th minute, 7th minute, whatever it was, equaliser. But look, let's just relax a bit. I don't see why or where this sense of entitlement has come from. My initial theory is that actually a lot of people only got really interested back in Leeds when Bielsa started being successful here, and we saw that brand of football.
Before that, I would say before that came crawling back from the Premier League days when we were up there. That's the most, because you see most level-headed people that I talk to a fair bit. No, not just on like Twitter and stuff, but personally, the majority of them are all unanimous and thinking, you know, Farke is doing a good job and he will come through for us. But then you've got your absolute gobshites on Twitter and stuff that have probably never even been to a frigging game, don't watch the team on a weekly basis and stuff, and just watch a highlights reel. Oh, this is fucking shit, it's boring, blah 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 blah.
Who said Moyes? I've seen people say Moyes. Somebody said Moyes.
Oh God, no!
I could not think of anything worse than watching
Jesus
David Moyes.
Christ! It's not worked for years.
Nah. That's just absolutely wild. It's just a pick because you don't like. I mean, I think the majority of people now have gone that far deep down the rabbit hole with Daniel Farke because they don't like him or because of his failure last year. They don't want to look like dickheads. So now they're saying, "Hang on a minute, there's something this year." You know what I mean? And ultimately don't want to hold their hands up and say, "Look, I might have been wrong. He's changed a few things." I think he has changed a few things this year. We haven't conceded in 4 games. 3 games. 4 games. 4 games. Sorry, Burnley. We conceded. Sorry, away from home we haven't conceded in 3 games. Sheffield, West Brom, and Cardiff. Three tough aways. And yeah, we've conceded 1 goal in the league since the opening day. So it's not.
He's.
Come on, Bryn.
I'm getting him on my next B and C.
He's not going to come on.
Yeah, definitely. Get him on. I'm going to
have him on.
He needs grilling.
Get him to explain why he thinks that Chris Moyes.
This is what I'm talking. This is what I'm talking about. Bryn has already made his mind up about Farke because he didn't get promoted last season. Everybody who said that, I'll go back and say we've got so many points from 15 games or whatever it was now, because they made their mind up about him last season, not this season. So
it suits their narrative.
Yeah, wipe your nose.
It's a negative spin. It suits the narrative. Oh yeah. We haven't lost in 9 million games. It's just it's just stupid.
Anyway, we'll move on slowly. Any outstanding performances other than obviously Ramazani? I think anybody else who stood out for either of you?
My stream were a bit. My stream, the channel I was listening to on the radio, of course, was a bit gritty, so I didn't see the whole match in its entirety. But I think Ramazani. I think I like him. I think he can.
Other than Ramazani.
Other than Ramazani, no. I think he's good, and I were hoping he'd get a start anyway, because obviously the Solomon stuff and the injury stuff, but. I think he's weak, and I think we've all pretty much said the same. When we signed him, etc., that we thought he might be a real good replacement or someone a similar sort of style to Somerville. But I think once he gets firing, he'll be an handful. Him, great. I think he's brilliant. But some solid displays all round. It's a shame Strike didn't took that penalty away though. The shit house.
Yeah. Especially for that geezer that had been on at 50-1.
To be fair though. The defenders didn't have a lot to do, did they? So you could pick any of the defenders out. I thought. I think other than Ramazani, really, your only other option. I thought Willie Nonto looked quite lively, it was back to himself a little bit, but could still do more.
Firpo looked all right, as Joe Bedford
Firpo. I read earlier on actually. Firpo's had more touches in any opponent's final third than anybody else in the league, which is a stat I read today. So we're getting the players into the right positions.
He's finally become the new Alioski.
Yeah.
Just needs a couple of goals now.
He does. And he's been close, actually, a couple of times, and he's got in some good positions. So, somebody just said there, we've had the least amount of shots on our goal in the league. So we are defending, we're doing the right things, you know what I mean? I would also argue on this point, we should have won every game but West Brom, where we deserved a draw. I'd agree with you. You look at the Portsmouth game, which was a mad 3-3. Should have probably beaten Burnley on any other day. And who else? That's it. West Brom was the draw, and I think we both teams deserved a point at that one.
A cracking point down there as well. That's something else, but because he wanted to win, the world's ending.
Yeah. Right. Shall we fly through a few comments before we toddle on? I think that's enough to do with Cardiff. Great stuff. Let's start with Michael Gott. Farke said in post-match that the team is very young and still building and still learning. And I sort of agree with that. We haven't brought any seasoned pros or players in really with any, leadership pedigree, shall we say.
Not leadership pedigree, but experience. Players like Rothwell. I mean, we have lost a lot.
How old's Rothwell? Is he 26 or something?
He's not that old.
Still slightly older. I'm not
sure. Mega old, is it?
No.
Just actually, before we do go on to a few more comments, is there anything Farke could have changed against Cardiff that you feel might have made a bit more of an impact?
I would agree with people that said he could have maybe made subs a bit earlier just to give other people more minutes and stuff. But apart from that, I don't think anything really were wrong. It were a solid game plan. It got the job done. We didn't even have to get out of first gear.
Yeah, he's 29. Is Rothwell?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A lot of experience. Obviously, he went up with Southampton last year as well. That's one thing you just can't buy. You can buy a £50 million striker or whatever, but you can't buy experience at the end of the day. And it's a tough league. It's the Championship, as we all know. And someone that's got experience in that. It's a shame that we didn't use Connor Roberts' experience, enough last season and stuff. But we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, do we? So, but we have lost a lot of old heads in that dressing room. So that will have an effect on the squad, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll moved on a little bit. Joe Bedford, good evening, Joe. As she said on Twitter, if we put all our chances away instead of being wasteful, we'd be untouchable. Some of our fans would still mourn. So actually, I completely agree with this, because the amount of chances and good chances that we have created, you've only got to look back to last week at Burnley with non-toes and with, was it Aronson who had the other, or Joseph? They had the two big chances at Burnley.
Aronson
and non-toe
won in the last game. I'm not sure about Burnley.
Yeah. Burnley was the last
game. Big one with Joseph, wasn't it?
Oh, when he ran through, yeah. When he ran through.
Yes, it was Joseph.
Could have been 1-0.
Joseph and Nonto won it. That's right.
If only it had been Ramazani running through.
I know. And this one.
Joel
So, I mean, had we won that game based on good chances that we've had, I think people would still find a way to dig out Farke, because they, as I said, they've taken the red pill, they've gone down that rabbit hole, and they all already have made their opinion on him, and you are not going to change somebody's opinion. Simple as that.
Brynwood, the misery guts, wasn't he, Smarty?
Paul Dambra, very fair. Thought we should have done a bit better against 10 men, but 3 points is a win. We've sort of already covered that. In that, sometimes it's more difficult because they literally had 10 men behind the ball the majority of that game, I think. Paul Brennan, good evening, Paul. Nice to see you with your emojis. Cardiff City fans weren't happy with their bench, didn't bother getting up on the 14th minute for the Sol Bamba. All the Leeds bench stood up and applauded for Sol. Total respect.
That's
I've seen a
unreal.
picture of that. Yeah, I have seen that. It's a bit, just a bit.
That leaves a bad taste, doesn't it?
Yeah. Mark Edison, when the new players settle, we will be a different entity. Believe in the project. Yeah. Do you believe in the project, you two, at the moment?
I think so.
That doesn't mean you believe. If you think,
I wish I believed in his fucking substitutions being made a bit earlier, but apart from that, I don't really have many gripes. Apart from that,
I'm an overall believer. There's things that I would like to be slightly different, but overall, I'm in.
Usually when he makes his substitutions, they're worse anyway. I was thinking when we were in the 70th minute against Cardiff, I thought he's going to make a substitution now or some subs now, and we're going to get worse because we always seem to get worse when we bring subs on. So do you keep the fucking players on as long as possible?
But then then he brought Pirro on and Pirro scored, got the second.
Pirro,
so how could you then argue with substitutions? Do you know what I mean? It's
super sub Joel Pirro.
Blaise Ray, not sure I agree with this one, by the way. He's a German, Steve Bruce.
I'm not having that.
The bacon, did you say?
This is the thing. What are we exactly frigging pretending like? What are we pretending, Ray? Please tell us.
Yeah, please do elaborate because I'm not sure on that one. Jonathan Brook, level-headed as always. Farke won the championship twice, got 90 points last season. He should have got enough to get promoted at the end of the season. And then he goes on to say, had we taken all the chances at Cardiff, we'd have won 4 or 5-0. That's on the players, he's saying, not the management. I mean, players not been clinical enough. They're getting enough chances, clearly. Paul, 4 clean sheets out. This is what I was trying to say. Whoever started this, thank you. 4 clean sheets from our 3 away matches. We have kept 4 clean sheets. Our 3 away matches, we've kept 3 clean sheets. Yeah, perfect.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, much easier than what it should have been. Right, let's move on. Has either of you done the stock tour?
The what now?
Stock tour.
You're the
that.
host.
Yeah, I haven't done it.
Fucking
what you mean you've not uploaded any?
I've not uploaded anything, so I'll let you do that
while
I talk about something.
I don't even know what you want me to upload.
There's stuff in the WhatsApp group chat.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you go and have a look at that, Jay. And me and Smarty and I will have a chat a little bit about the...
Blaise Ray has replied to his comment, by the way.
Okay, great question. Did Bielsa get us promoted in his first season?
No.
Exactly.
But
where did he fail?
The thing is, the people will say that Farke should be smashing this league because the squad that Farke has is much, much better than what Bielsa had. However, Bielsa was a much, much better coach with shit players.
But he also had Pablo Hernandez, Calvin Phillips.
But they cancel each other out for me. I'm not a massive fan of Daniel Farke, and I don't think that we will set the league alight should we get promoted next season. I also don't think that we've got the bestest ever squad either. I think there is gaping holes in quality. I think we could.
It depends how you ask this, Bryn.
It depends how cynical. It depends. Yeah. Oh, sorry, you're replying to him. Sorry.
Yeah, no, because Bryn's asked, do we have the squad Farke have, Luke? Well, no, because simply we haven't got the same players here. But if you want to ask that question, are we talking about monetary value? Because if we are, absolutely we haven't, because we've been to the Premier League and come back down. However, we don't have a Pablo Hernandez in this team. We don't have a Calvin Phillips in this team. We don't have a Stewie Dallas in this team. We don't have a Harrison who was playing really good football in the Championship at that stage. Who are all, I don't know.
You can't try and draw too many comparisons. And to be fair, I'm sick and tired of comparing Bielsa to Daniel Farke, if I'm honest. They're just completely 2 different brands of football. Completely different. Bielsa had a decent chuffing pair of strikers with Bamford, but friggin' hell. Roof, fucking hell, his name went out of my head then for some reason. Kemar Roof, he was a good player as well, and Bamford were decent for him, and now we haven't got that.
We've got an aging Bamford, which is 5 years since. Yeah, you know what I mean?
We're just not that good at the front, scoring goals, etc., etc. But that's because of the different style that we play. Bielsa's style was to be very, very attacking. We had overlaps and underlaps, and we had players absolutely bombing forward. Whereas we don't with Farke. There's a more casual, steady, controlled build-up. You'd have your wing backs or your wingers cutting into to the edge of the box, and then cutting back to our player, whether it be Hernandez, whether it be Dallas, whether it be Bamford, etc., etc., all waiting in a specific area because they'd been told to be there when that ball comes here. And it was scripted, and most people knew about it. Fucking Scotty Parker with his Blardigans, etc., etc., foiled Bielsa time and time again because apparently.
So did Daniel Farke.
So did on one occasion, yeah. So it didn't work all the time, and they were totally different. But the defense is better. The structure, the control is better. The brand of football was better under Bielsa, though.
Here 100%. Is, and I'm sorry, Blazed Ray, if I'm going to use this, but here is a great example of sense of entitlement in one message or one comment or whatever. Blazed Ray, I don't think he's good enough for the Premier League. We're not arguing that. We are in the Championship. Yeah. We are not in the Premier League. And I think
he was never supported in the Premier League either.
No.
And I'm not being funny, but there ain't a million frigging Pep Guardiolas in the chuffing Premier League either.
No.
You don't get many managers playing that style of football in the Premier League either because they don't have the squads for it or they don't have the tactical nous for it. They don't.
Who plays that style? There's only really Pep, I would argue. Maybe Postecoglou within reason, who tries and plays a bit of high energy, high impact football. Liverpool and Arsenal obviously do when they play weaker sides, but they don't do it against the big guns. And when they're playing each other, it looks like a game of chess, and it's arguably more
Most
boring.
Most teams, when they set up against Man City, will chuffing hide behind the frigging defence, and they'll just set up a brick wall straight away. They shit themselves because they know they can't go toe to toe with teams like Man City. They don't.
Yeah.
So Bryn's now said that the main difference between the two sides is the level of the number 8. Now, are you suggesting that's Click? I would imagine so.
Yeah.
He was the only one who played in there for us. But yeah, Click, Hernandez, I would say Phillips. If we were to make comparisons man for man, I reckon we would probably still take in this team now 4 or 5 of Bielsa's promoted.
Yeah, absolutely. 100,000,000%.
So other squads that unbalanced then?
I think on the face of it, probably on paper, on the whole,
monetary value.
Probably got, it's definitely got Edge is a better team, but that's only because, but if you on paper, if you look at the values, you'd say, wouldn't you, definitely that a chuffing, I don't know, and Alioski wouldn't hold up against the Firpo or whatever. Even though Firpo's, Alioski was never a frigging left back, but he played there anyway. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to values, etc., on paper, Farke's team massively outweighs Bielsa's, but on pure talent, I don't think it does.
This is another one that's going to make me laugh from Bryn. Ampadu is solid, plays the Phillips role fine. You are not telling me that you wouldn't swap Phillips for
nothing like Phillips. I'd fucking drive Ampadu to the fucking airport now if you give me a 2019-2020 Calvin Phillips. No fucking dare. No way.
Bielsa Phillips, yeah.
I can't speak. Anyway, let's continue. We were going to have a brief chat, Smarty, before we start getting run away again regarding the stadium. Danny Wright says the West holds 11, East holds 15, Cop 7 and South 4. If we mirror the West on the East, then that increases the capacity only by 4. Where's the rest coming from? The biggest cop ever? Someone needs to explain to me how we get 15,000 extra fans in the West and North when mirroring the East only gives us 4,000. A bigger cop than Dortmund?
Well,
now, I'm not sure on the layout.
I'm not sure. Layout. There might be safe standing. That'll increase capacity versus seats.
Well, there is already safe standing in the West Stand and the North Stand.
Exactly.
Not in the West, it's just all in the North,
yes,
isn't
there is in the away stand.
Are you sure?
Absolutely, love.
I've never even
sit next to it.
I look at them every single fucking home game. I look at them. So yes, only the top section like there is at the Cop, but they do have away. They do have the safe standing in the away fans.
Do you look for your favourites to see if they've come back for another round of abuse?
Sometimes I remember. Would it press? No, it was Plymouth, and I think there were a guy that wore chinos to first home game.
Oh,
and he had chinos on again in second game. But yeah, you see,
he got ruined, did he?
There's a woman that supports Wolverhampton who looks just like Jimmy Savile, and so we'd sing Jimmy Savile.
Maybe we're getting EasyJet in or Ryanair to put the seats in, so we've all got like literally can't move in the seats.
Daniel, what I would suggest is that you don't care much about how they get them in, that they are actually getting in there. I think you've got too much time on your hands to worry about where the fucking hell we're fitting extra fans.
I also hope people don't think that all those seats are going to go to people on season ticket waiting lists, because they are not. You're going to be really disappointed if you think that's going to happen. Nope. They want tourists and day trippers. They want people who are going to come spend money in the shop. Some will go to season ticket waiting list people, but a lot won't.
Where do you stand on that then? Because obviously, I read the article and it said that they've employed the acoustics specialists to ensure that we don't lose that.
Go, different directions.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Charge them about $100,000 for doing that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, where do you stand on that? Because obviously the club are gonna want people to come and spend more money now. Leeds United season tickets spend very little at a game. They buy a beer and a pie, maybe a few beers and a pie. Whereas your day trippers come in, they spend £100, £200 in the shop, and the beer and the pie. You know, it adds up. If that's 1,000 people,
you know yourself, Luke. If you bring a couple of kids with you, you go in the shop, you buy food and drink, you buy them a shirt and that. You could easily do $300 a game, couldn't you?
My kids, they get a Gravelys.
The cost of a match ticket for your general admission or GA, as Mr. Kinnear likes to. Is way higher than the average cost of a season ticket. I think.
Yeah, it is.
I think it averages out like £27 for a season ticket, where you could blast that out at £47. You'd instantly make £20 more a ticket on a match day ticket.
Plus the extra spend in the commercials and
exactly.
And that, so.
You cheeky bastard. No more 20% for you, Johnson. Shithouse.
Smarty, where's the club shop?
That's because I usually buy everything in it.
Loves it, doesn't he?
I think that's
yeah. But yeah, no, I mean it's obviously quite exciting. But is it that exciting when we actually when we come to terms with it that we are actually going to be a much bigger stadium? Is that doesn't necessarily mean, and we've seen recently that it's going to create much more noise, and also that we've got the commercial element where we're going to have probably boxes in there, and
there's going to be a lot of hospitality in it, and I think that's where Kinney already said that a lot of the revenue that they wanted to get is from your hospitality sort of seats and stuff. So yeah, you're going to see a lot of changes, and to be fair, rightly so. That West Stand's grim. I mean, it's proper grim.
It is.
It's horrible. It needs to be gone.
They're from the 70s.
They're not bulldozing the cop; they're just making it bigger. So. Whether they bulldoze it or not, I'm pretty certain they probably will do. To be fair, but at the end of the day, even if you do get a ticket, I don't know.
It's taken fucking ages to build this Everton stadium, and
that's a completely new stadium, and they had to do all.
I get that, but even if they're doing one stand, even if they did the whole of the West Stand, that's not going to happen overnight.
No,
Prince staring pot here.
Champagne socialist
Gilly looking into corporate.
Red Bull Stadium incoming, boys.
With his steak dinner.
I'm all for it. Give me that Red Bull money. Sweet.
Let's do it.
Red Bull
Let's do it. I'll tell you what, though. If they make it decent and they manage to keep some of the atmosphere, and I'm all for it. Nothing stays the same forever, and it is a fucking ground.
I'm sure they will do. Do you think
it all needs doing?
Do you think they put fucking all these acoustic people in when they built the frigging East Stand?
No, not at all.
No,
but
so they're clearly doing the right thing and doing it properly. At the end of the day, even if you are still sat in Cop or frigging West Stand, you're still going to be looking at the old Elland Road, because the South Stand and then the East Stand are changing.
And the thing is,
it's fans like us that are going to have to look at this new stuff. But at the end of the day, it needs updating. It's an old horrible. Elland Road's horrible. It's shit.
Honestly,
I love the place, but you look at it and it looks grim. If you're driving from up Elland Road, not from town, but the way, from White Rose End, fuck it looks horrible. It's an eyesore.
When you go into Concourse,
I like that though. I like that it's gritty.
Cheese wedge though. It looks like you're in something from Cold War. Looks like you're in a Cold War.
It does, yeah.
Russian
looks like, exactly. It looks
other
like
side of Berlin Wall or something.
From Chernobyl, would it?
Yeah, exactly. It needs doing up. It needs tightening up, but it needs to retain it.
Look, it needs improvement. But what I don't want to happen is to have this shiny new box of a shithole that just creates absolute zero noise, and it just stinks, and you've seen it, like they look like they've been made out of Lego. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Or Duplo, some of these new stadiums, and I just it's just not for me, man. I don't get it. I do get it because I know that's the way. If they've got all these people on the season ticket list, they know that they'll be able to sell those tickets week in, week out, don't they? Unless things go dramatically wrong and we get relegated down to League One again, and we get people like Ken Bates running the club, and something like that would have to go dramatically wrong for us to not be able to sell out of. Is it 53? I think it's going to go up to 53,000.
Yeah. And then people kicked off, didn't they? Why ain't it 55? It's just like fucking hell.
Just never happy, are they? Just never happy.
Oh, Dave Walton makes a great point, and I couldn't have put it better. Stonehenge looks ugly, but it's historic.
Exactly. Yeah, it is. That's true.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Good point.
Yeah. No, I get it. I understand that people find it nostalgic and that they don't want it to change. But if Eddie Gray's saying bulldoze it, get rid of it, it's old, it's minging, it's shagged, fucking do it. Just do it.
How much trouble have they had with roof?
I don't know, but I can imagine it's a friggin' health and safety nightmare. The amount of pissing asbestos still being that thing, Christ.
Exactly.
But whatever, it needs to go. It's horrible.
It does, and no one's going to come in and invest the kind of money these guys are, or Red Bull if they end up buying the club, God forbid. But whatever, they're not going to do that and not look to make it something that they can maximise the money on. They want more people in. They want to sell more tickets. They want a bigger ground that can then be used for events, fucking gigs, or NFL showpiece games, or whatever, like what Tottenham get. There's no reason why they won't. No, we don't want that. But as owners of the club, they want that kind of thing, don't they?
Yeah, and you aren't going to. Well, I'm not saying you aren't going to attract because players go wherever money goes. So that's a really shit point, actually. But at the end of the day. What?
Go on, say what you're saying, and I'll tell you.
No, I've lost my train of thought now. You've interrupted.
Sorry, man. I do you remember when Wigan played Bath and they did cross-code rugby?
No.
Don't you? Luke remembers.
I do.
They played two games. They played a game in union rules and a game in league rules. So what if we get the 49ers and we have a football match?
Yeah, that sounds
and then we have an American football game.
Have a mud wrestle.
I would like to see an NFL game hosted there, which we might see.
Yeah, I would.
47, 53, or whatever it is, 1,000. Right, Jay, have you managed to do any background work since me and Smarty have been having a real adult educational conversation? Thank you.
I have. I've had to put one in that Smarty didn't want in there because we had the guy who said something about run the.
All right, can we just get to it? Yeah, let's get to it rather than telling everybody who it's going to be. Yeah.
Hey, has got a shit tick this week, my little sparrow-fact.
So this is the sorry?
Go on.
So this is the part of the show where we can basically take the piss of something that somebody has said online. And we do apologise if it is you and you are the chosen one.
We don't
really care.
No, we don't.
There is also now, I created a Twitter called Shit Take of Week, at Shit Take of Week with a little bird. And if you want to tag us in any through the week, please do go follow. I think it's at Shit Take of Week. Just tag us in loads of them and we'll pick the best ones out and share because we don't spend all day and all week on social media like Gilly. He's the only one who can.
What? You're joking? I'd love to see how many hours a day you put in on frigging Twitter, man. Jesus Christ.
Me?
You're going to kill me, you.
Fucking not long, mate. Honestly, not these days.
Well, since last week. You're always in the trenches, you.
No, when I'm in trenches, it's different, and I've got to argue back. But like,
sneaking off to bogs, sneaking off to bogs into fucking bastard.
That's it. I've got to tell this fucker.
Yeah, man. I spend very little time on social media these days. Oh, me and Bryn last Friday. Me against Bryn and Scoffer. I was at it with them two.
Yeah,
I was just starting to do a bit of work, and then they'd reply, and I was like, for fuck's sake, I got to get back at them too. Start telling me about how shit I was at chess and that.
Oh, there's always one. There's always one. Ryan. But you're fun at parties, Ryan.
Release the sausages.
Fucking fun
anyway,
over there.
Anyway.
Yeah, release the sausages. So we will start with shit take of the week 1, and this one can be done by you, Jay.
Okay. So we got this guy here, Lamnam. He says, we had the best underlyings last season, but came 4th out of the 4 teams in contention for promotion. Ipswich happily outperformed their XG all season, and it never corrected itself. They were just good at scoring low-value chances. This lad, Liam, replies, and that happens literally. Now, he uses the word literally. That happens literally never, while responding to something about it just happening. Rather be performing well than not performing well. Yeah, all right, Liam. Nice one.
So what's the shit take in there? Can you tell us the message, Jay? I don't really understand.
Confused.
Luke. You get it, don't you,
Would you like me to get it back up?
Yeah, go on. So this guy's saying that what Ipswich did literally never happens, except it did happen. That's the shit take.
Ah, right.
Oh, okay. It's a very Ribena.
I'll tell you something.
Ribena/Tizer level.
I'm just going to say to everyone watching this that I didn't pick these, so
who picked that one?
I'm not taking the blame.
I think that was another one of Gilly's.
It was a Gilly one.
17 hours a day spends on social media. Right, shit take of the week 2. Look, Smarty, take it away. You can have this one. I don't know what they are. I'm just literally putting them up.
We need to change the stadium name as well. It's dead. Is that from Lord Leeds?
Yeah.
Oh wow. I think that might have been a slight tongue in cheek.
I think so.
But funny nonetheless. But yeah, I think
Carl picked that one though.
Yeah, Carl with the lads.
And then finally, last but certainly not least, I don't know what this one was, but the only reason he's still here is because he was injured for the second half of last season, probably.
It's about strike.
He probably would have gone for about 25, 30 million, maybe more. But then we'd probably have gone up if he'd stayed fit, in which case we'd want like 50 plus.
So he's calling Strike a £50 million plus player. Now, Smarty didn't want to include that one because he said this guy's a troll, but the other one that was put in the group, the guys deleted the tweet, so I couldn't get a screenshot of it. A guy saying that...
Oh, the one mine?
The one about getting in and out of a van and doing his ACL.
Oh, no, God, no.
Yeah.
Where's mine one? How come you didn't put mine in your shit bag?
I couldn't see it.
Spike. Can't bloody spike.
It's anyway, too late now. The poly's up.
It's too late. But that's just ridiculous. I mean, the fact that saying that Strike would have improved the defence after going so long, undefeated and having the least goals conceded, etc., is just madness. Really, the issue wasn't defending; it was going frigging forward at the end of last season. So the guy wants to get a reality check.
It does. I've just found yours. It's because it wasn't as a picture in the thing.
It's all right, mate. It's gone now. It's gone now. Second week.
The poll is up. The poll is up. We can't just start adding stuff at shit.
We'll come back to it. It's done.
Nige. How do you know? How do you know what I use my phone for? We'll have less.
Wow. I always feel like somebody's watching me.
Unless he's got unless he's got access to my webcam here, and they can turn it on and start watching you.
He's been hacking you.
Yeah, halfway through a webinar. Oh, do you love me?
Is that what you call it?
Yeah. Right. We'll let that run for a short while, and we'll come back to tell you who has won this week's shit take of the week. So the poll is live. Take your votes and make them count, and don't complain if you don't vote.
Hey, has got a shit take this week, my little sparrow fact.
Yeah, brilliant. That's my favourite part of the week, anyway. That
it's great,
just so I get to hear Bren's dulcet little Yorkshire.
He has to come and do that live for us at the end of the season, doesn't he?
He's just got to come on at some stage.
He has, to be fair. He has.
For those of you that don't know,
he should
Bren,
make one appearance every season, at least just one.
That's it. Yeah.
In fact,
otherwise,
he's only done it once, and we've been going 5 seasons.
Otherwise, we'll have to excommunicate him.
And we've still not broke 3,000 subscribers.
Yeah,
you swines.
Excommunicate him, right? Okay. Right. Let's move on then. We've got there's something else I wanted to talk about, and Smarty Gilly says talk about that later tonight. In fact, I might have bookmarked it. Just bear with me.
Hang on, someone wants to know what Make My Iron is. This is important.
Okay.
Oh, Christ. Is it from a Playmobil set?
Dunelm.
Some sort of frigging Polly Pocket iron.
Yeah.
It's from Dunelm.
It's out of a little Mighty Max kit, innit?
Fucking Barbie iron.
Wait till you see my car. It's a micro machine.
Well. Anyway, right. the stuff that I bookmarked isn't really relevant, and it's not what I'm thinking about. It's just about the XG stuff, which we've already really gone through. So let's go on and talk about the Bluebirds from Coventry coming up this weekend. Saturday, I know loads of us are there this weekend. I think even Scotch Gaz is coming down.
The old crew
coming up as well.
Oh, yeah, can't wait.
Should be a good big Lou. Yeah, well, Lou will be with us. Yeah, I'm back.
Can't wait.
Yeah. So let's look. People have been saying that they're expecting this to be a much more difficult game, and I watched them play Spurs the other night in the cup, in the Carabao Cup, and they were a handful. They were the best side against Spurs. Look, albeit Spurs didn't have all their big hitters on the field at the start, and Archie Gray was right back. Jed Spence came on and played left back, but they got tore a new arsehole. I'll be honest with you, both of them. They were both really, really, really poor. So I expect this to be a tough game. However, I read earlier somewhere that I think somebody will quote me on this, or somebody will tell me that the actual right tactics. They've only won 2 out of their last 15 games, I believe.
Well, they've only won one this season.
Charge.
They've only won one this season. They've lost 3, so I'm not mega worried about them personally.
They did look really good against Spurs.
It's different though, isn't it? Like, it's a different kettle of fish playing in the cup.
Go all out against in cup, yeah. About so they drew against Watford. They lost to Norwich. They beat Oxford. They drew against Bristol. Oxford. Oh, sorry, they had Oxford in the cup. Sorry, my bad. They beat Oxford 3-2 in the league, and they beat Coventry in the cup again. Fucking hell.
Yeah,
Coventry.
It's weird because they've played a lot of times in cup, and we're shite. We've only played once, which is why I'm thinking, well, there's a lot of games. Is that? They lost against Stoke first game of the season.
Before we do go in to talk about the actual how we think it might go, Joe did a referee's El Loco Joe, who's in the chat, did a referee thread. He's back after 4 seasons of managing to avoid the insert chosen noun. Gavin Ward is back in charge on Saturday. For the
not him.
It's pointless me rewriting the thread, so attaches my quote below. Sometimes there are reasons you just don't warm to a referee. Sometimes those reasons are glaringly obvious ones, like today. Gavin Ward back to back, but there we go. He reffed 2 other games that season. He reffed a home win to Blackburn, where he awarded us a penalty, and an away win versus Huddersfield. I don't understand what's so bad. Why don't I recognise this guy's name, Joe? Can you tell us in the chat?
I recognise his name. I'm sure he was.
I do, but I don't know why. And I don't know why. I do recognise his name. I don't know why. His last game in charge was the home game v Hull.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, v Hull.
This is all very confusing. Is he good? Is he great? Is he shit? What's
Luke's lost me here. I don't know what's going on.
It's all confusing. When she was doing this.
I don't know. Anyway, basically lead stats games is ref 10. We've won 7, lost 3. Not a bad return. 19 yellows and 1 red. Penalties 2, 4, and 0 against. I don't believe you. So yeah, basically, Coventry, they've not really been up to much, but they do look a relatively good side when they got on the front foot, I think, and certainly did in that cup game. How was it going to go, boys? Look at the video.
I'll let Smarty go with this one.
I think we'll batter the shit out of them. And because I think that they're not very good. They're right down the bottom of the league, quite low in confidence. They won't want to come with their bollocks out to Elland Road, where they know that they're probably going to get absolutely slapped. I expect probably another very defensive display. However, given the fact that we've just dusted Cardiff away at their place, I don't think Cardiff are much. I don't think Coventry are much better. So I would expect a very, very similar sort of performance to Cardiff. If I'm honest, they're not going to come out and want to play football against us. I don't think.
Right. Do you not? Well, I mean, suppose it's different, as you said, with the cup. Do you not think that they will play? I don't know. I haven't watched anything other than the season, other than that one game. So let me just share the video. Actually, that he ref this. He was in charge for this game, and I think it'll make a little bit more sense than what I was trying to say.
forwards, flicked into the penalty area. And Joseph was lurking in there.
Do you remember this challenge?
Cleared away. Now Rodon's got to win his. Come off his heel. What a problem, because it's out the edge of the penalty area with a shot. And Melier gets out on that one. Well, that's what the referee says anyway. And it will be a whole.
Yeah, it's no worse than Haaland's at the weekend.
All day long. Referee,
I get it now. Sorry, Joe. I should have watched the video and read the instructions before trying to put it together, shouldn't I? But yeah, I think I don't see him being that much of a problem. If I'm honest with you, same as Cardiff. We'll be at home, and I don't know what it is. I just don't feel worried. I think we're better in every position on the field. They've probably got a better striker in that. Is it Ellis Sims? He's probably a little bit better than Mateo Joseph, but other than that, had you right, Thomas Asante, whatever he's called as well. They've got some handy players, but nobody. Now they lost O'Hare. I don't think they've really got much else to worry us. Either of you two know any more?
Like yourself, I'm not. I've seen a few some of the results, etc., but I've not really watched much more than what you get on the AFL highlights on ITV. To be honest, I don't particularly find watching other games. I very rarely watch any other sort of football apart from certain specific teams because I find it all frigging boring. If I'm totally honest, most of it's just shite, innit?
It is, to be fair.
Bielsa's ruined me. Do you know? and I'm sorry to go back to talking about the B word again, but after seeing that football and how good it is, etc., I can only really watch that kind of brand of football now. Nothing else entertains me, which is why last season I was saying, on the whole, that Farke's fast football was quite boring.
Yeah, it was efficient.
And at the end of the day, it's a spoonful of medicine, isn't it? It might taste shit, but at the end of the day, it's going to work for you. So
yeah,
you've just got to kind of swallow it, haven't you? So it's one of them. It's one of them.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think Coventry are going to come here. I don't think they're going to do what Cardiff did. They might adopt the whole style, which kind of, I think it was a bit of a blend of both, really, wasn't it? They did attack us in elements, in bits, but when you've got, I think it was Louis Coyle that were running across his own box. They're trying to hold on to the ball as much as they can. They weren't good enough to play out from the back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I still think it's going to be a very Cardiff sort of game. But I'd be more than happy to get a whole result out of it.
Mm-hmm. Would you expect? Sorry, Jay, go on.
So, I'm not mega worried about them. They don't look like a particularly dangerous side to me.
We should not be worried about anyone in the bottom half of this team.
Yeah, we should have more than enough. We should have more than enough
bottom half,
on paper. But because it's us, anything can
happen.
happen. Because it's us, anything can happen. But
the 19th or something.
19th.
Yeah, the 19th, yeah.
But we should have enough for them. No doubt about that.
Not once since opening day, but however, let me give you the game in numbers. So Leeds United, when the odds are 50, when the odds are, and when we've got 53 to 10, 53 to 100 odds to win, the expected chance of winning is 65%. However, we only win 50% of the time. So basically, what it said is we underperform in these types of games, and it's saying that Coventry's odds are 4-1 to win. However, when their odds are 4-1, the expected chance of winning is 20%. But at Coventry actually win 50%. So the game's a 50-50 balance according to numbers in games that the games have been these odds. So yeah, man, I don't even give a shit, mate, to be honest. I'm not worried about them at all. As people are saying in the comments, they've got Sheaf, they've got Van Ewijk, Hadji Wright, Thomas Asante. They've got some good players. But if it was ever a game they were going to win, it'd be this one, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? It just feels feel very Leedsy. But also we said that about the Cardiff game. If Leeds were ever going to lose that, does it feel like the momentum's eventually or potentially started to shift then in those types of games? Do we think?
I'm not sure on that. I mean,
well, when was the last time we got beat? Actually, probably the first game of the season when we drew, when we probably should have beaten them 6-0.
There's still that element in us of not doing what we should. that's always going to be there because we're Leeds. You know what I mean? It's the same thing as 6 seasons in a row, whatever. We've not been able to score from corners, and we've not been able to beat the first man at a corner. It doesn't matter who the manager is, who the players are. Some things just happen to Leeds because we're Leeds, and underperforming against lower quality teams is just one of those for me.
We struggled against the bottom 6 last season. And I think hopefully putting Cardiff to the sword at the weekend gets us on the right path. I think Eva just said in the comments that Coventry are dark arts masters. So like I say, I don't really know too much about.
This isn't Lord of the Rings, though, is it? I mean, it's a game of football. Let's be honest.
Dark arts, no, but it's like they said exactly the same about Arsenal at the weekend against City. They were not cheating, but I suppose they were. They were fouling, they were pulling, they were doing this, they were doing that.
Niggly little fuckers
to disrupt the game. So if that's what, obviously, I'm thinking that's what she's alluding to. Then, yeah, I can see it being quite difficult. They'll probably come to disrupt us. They'll come to frustrate us, and just shithouse a result possibly. So,
do you think they'll come for a point?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I do.
I think almost any team and every team in the league will try and come for a point to Ellen Road, won't they?
It's sort of like us going to Hawthorns or whatever. Team that go to West Brom would absolutely kill for a point because it's a difficult place to go. So that's exactly what teams are like when they come to Ellen Road. They'd absolutely kill for a frigging point against us. We went, apart from right at the very end, we went unbeaten at home last season, pretty much all season.
Yeah. Teams know that they'll get a chance with a break against us. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And that's what most of them wait for. They're happy to run the clock down, time
waste.
They'll
go this season.
Yeah, they will. We've already seen that. That's there.
Also the Gordon Strachan derby. Also the Gary McAllister derby. Also the
Whelan
derby. Who else? There's somebody else. There's one or two more.
David Hopkin didn't play for them at some point, did he?
Who?
David Hopkin. That was Palace, wasn't it? He played for.
He was an ugly bastard, wasn't he?
He was, wasn't he? Yeah.
He was.
The face of nightmare, I'd love.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm not overly concerned. I think it'll be a good game. Do you know what? I thought they were doing better than they were this season, but that just goes to show how much attention I paid to the actual league. And
it's because they were good last year. You kind of assume they'll still be pretty good. Oh, shit, yeah.
Whack-him.
Joachim. What?
Joachim. It's Joachim, innit?
No, it's Joachim.
I think it's pronounced Joachim. I'm sure it is. It's not Joachim.
I can't believe you were laughing at me when he's actually pronounced Joachim.
I thought Luke were right, to be fair.
I am right.
It could be. Maybe it's me, but Joachim.
I thought he started talking about whacking Phoenix for a minute. I was a bit confused.
1:07, Gilly. Get that
He's got enough. 1 minute, 1 hour. He's got enough for me. Friggin' hell. It could make about 3 or 4 introductions of shite that he's got on me anyway.
Whack him.
Well, okay. I hope Julian Whackham's not there.
I stand corrected.
Is he like a hitman, Julian Whackham?
You know the funniest thing about it, how he tried ridiculing me there and saying, Joachim,
Joachim.
Jesus Christ. This is why I love this podcast, you see.
Yeah, Luke is correct. I know, Luke's correct. Yeah, Luke's right.
It's rare. It is rare. I'll give it to him. I stand corrected.
It happens occasionally, Smarty.
It does. It happens at best.
When the planets align, they align, don't they? Do you know what I mean? Whacking. That's got me. Honestly, it's fucking got me. Because I was just going along with it because I thought you were just trying to,
Sometimes I do that.
His name,
especially to this guy. I get him quite a lot with stuff like that. And he falls
you like doing that, don't you? Because I trust
anyway.
I'm trusting.
Anyway,
that will
even though I know better.
Anyway,
go on.
Auto know better predictions.
In the comments to get your
first
prediction
one.
in.
Who's going to be the first?
Who was top out? Have you got the league? Who's
not
top
me.
out? Was 3? Is it me or Jay?
Not me. I think
It'd be me, I
think you are. 2 seconds. I shall look at the biggest league in the fucking world. Luke. Where's Jay? Oh, Jay's only a few points above me. So it's you, then Jay, then myself. The fans, who's got the first one from the fans? Christ alive, they're raining in. Daddy Talk Sports gone for 1-1. There you go. He was the first one.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a 3-1 win Leeds. James?
Go on, Jay.
I'm going to go for a 4-1 Leeds.
Jay's gone 4-1 to Leeds. I'm going to go 2-0.
Is that actually 2-0, or are you going to ask for like 2-1 or something?
I'm going to lamp that bald bastard. 2-0. Not changing my mind. The thing is, he made me change it because he shamed me into saying, "Oh, you're doing that for?" And I says, "No, I think we should win, but you know, it's a difficult place." Blah blah blah. I won't bore you with the rest.
So you let him win the psychological
He convinced me
game.
to change it back, and I went, "Actually, no, fuck off. I'm sticking with 2-0." Oh, it's locked in. All that fucking bullshit that he spouts. Oh, it's locked in now. What? You're still asking for people's predictions? How can it be locked in?
Not that you're upset about it.
No. Just piss me off.
Cool. You've got them taken down, then let's just do this quickly.
Twitter poll results.
It's not even a Twitter poll anymore. It's a.
Not anymore.
It's in the.
I used to enjoy my Twitter polls that I used to do.
Yeah, it is in, and we've got right. So Liam with a question mark because nobody had a clue what fucking Liam was on about. Got 11%. Stadium name change, which was a bit of. I'm guessing a bit of trolling. We've got 31%, and the winner was Strike being worth 50 million plus.
Absolutely.
No one's having that, are they?
No, so congratulations. You have won this week's.
Hey, oh, has got a shit tick this week, my little sparrowfat.
We have a
You just
winner.
love playing that, don't you?
I just want an excuse to play this. Rightio. Does anybody have a bitter? We haven't done an auto bitter for a while. Jay, I'm a little bit disappointed actually.
No one asks for it anymore, to be fair.
No,
It's because we tend to just voice our concerns and our grievances throughout the podcast.
We generally spend an hour and a half just moaning, don't we?
Has anything got under your skin, Smarty? It could be work related, family related,
predictions league related,
everything. Don't like people. Everyone can get fucked. I'm just a very angry person at the moment. So
that's how we love you.
Too many. It's all bottlenecked. There's no getting through at minute. It's all just like this massive.
Are you going to cut loose after the Coventry game? You're going to get.
I'm going to have a couple of shandies.
That's it. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah, I'm going to come out and but I'll still be in bed for 9 o'clock.
Jay, anything tickling your todger this week?
Fucking hell.
Apart from the cats,
Well, I don't think there's anything really winding me up at the moment. It's more life in general is a bit shit, and I've been full of cold, so but not that anyone wants to worry about on here.
No, I mean,
no one cares.
Problem shared is halved.
No one cares.
Or in your case,
that's all right, mate.
It's like every time I see an ill or a sick person, not terminally, I might add, I just think, I'm not fucking ill, so piss off. I'm glad you're ill. Fuck you. You just soak it up.
You're all hard, aren't you?
Illness. Yeah, soak up the illness. Get away from me.
Fucking hellfire.
Cool. Jay, and I think you've got a little bit to read out, and then we're pretty much tied up, I think.
I have. I love when you just drop it on me and I have to go find it again.
Well, Jay, we're at the end of everything. What normally happens at the end of everything.
Listen, mate, it's actually on my screen. I was ready, okay? I was just saying. Give me a second.
Sound very ready to me.
Anyway. This is a bit where we give a little shout out for Andy's Man Club. As you know, we like to promote them at the end of the pods. And if you do need to talk about anything, or you're just a bit fed up or whatever, and you just want to get out of the house, give these guys a go. You won't regret it. They're a good bunch of lads. And we have their upcoming social events here. And we don't have a graphic at the moment, so I'm just going to read them out to you.
We're useless, aren't we, really?
Well, I blame Lee. Lee didn't send us a graphic, so that's not on us. We are useless.
Calling him out.
We are useless, but that one's not on us. So anyway, weekly they do the Recovery Runners group run. Wednesday evenings, meet at 5:45 p.m. for a 6 p.m. start. Meet at 5 Ways at the Recovery Academy, Westfield Road, Woodhouse. They've got the monthly walk and talk, and that's happening on Sunday, the 6th of October at Burley Park. Meet at the entrance on the corner of Cardigan Lane and Parkview Road at 11 a.m. for a short walk, followed by a coffee at Culture on Kirkstall Road. There's more to be announced. They often have a pool night and stuff like that, but we don't have any details on that at the moment, but I'm sure we'll have a bit more from them next week.
Thank you ever so much for that, Jay. I'm going to go put myself to sleep.
Cheers, mate.
The enthusiasm in your voice, mate. It
you did all right there. Leave him alone.
It's his job.
I read that out. I read that out perfectly. I was putting inflection in the right places. I was putting emphasis in the right places. We saw you try to fucking read some off your screen. You look like you'd never read anything in your life before. Give it a fucking rest.
Yep, he's got you there, mate.
I'm looking forward to see what shoes he's got on at weekend just to get him just to get him back.
What are those?
Just try not to scare shit out of me and make me drop my pint this time.
Bryn agrees with me, Jay. That was painful. That was painful. I agree. Right, we'll be back. We will be back after.
Buddy Whitesnake needs to get out of bed earlier to come and catch us live.
Yeah, that's it, mate.
Come on, man. Set your alarm. Come on.
We'll be back. It'll be Sunday, won't it, Smarty? You're doing it, aren't you?
Oh, God, yeah.
He won't know.
It's Sunday. It'll be
Sunday. You mean I don't know?
I forgot.
You need Rota tattooing on your frigging other side of your eyelids, you cheeky shod.
I know.
Yeah.
Sunday, bloody Sunday.
I'm covering Luke.
We'll be back. So do subscribe, hit notifications, and we'll look forward to welcoming you Sunday morning and then again next week. So it won't be Tuesday next week, though.
Hopefully
it won't be Tuesday next week because we do play Norwich Tuesday night. So we won't be back Tuesday either. It'll probably be Wednesday, Thursday next week. But you'll see us if you've subscribed anyway. See some of you at the game. Take it easy, look after yourselves, and I suppose don't be like Jay.